YouTube. We are good to go. Hello and welcome to the Weekly Wednesday Lunchtime Livestream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream and youtube.com/Dungeons & Dragons/live. I'm DDO's Community Manager Cordovan here from I guess it's been about a week and a half or so since I've last been live streaming here. We are going to be on Oriening shortly, running some of the new quests in Update 31 and kind of mid-upper team stuff as time permits. We'll be back on Oriening next week as well, so next 2 weeks there, if you are keeping track. Hello everyone, hope you had a great Memorial Day. I know that was a while ago. Hope you're having a good time with Update 31. We just had a patch today, so I thought I'd kick off the stream by talking just a little bit about the patch notes. This was primarily a bug fix patch, and then we added one thing, which is the new monster manual. Yep, we have a 7th version of the monster manual, and we can talk a little bit about what's in that here actually in just a second. I did want to mention, just quick going through the release notes, we did find a couple more stacking effect issues. Now, for those who don't really understand what we're saying when we say stacking effect, this doesn't mean you get a bonus over and over and over again. It doesn't increase your actual bonus, but what it does behind the scenes is tell sort of the various internet tubes that run the game that, hey, you've got this, hey, you've got this, hey, you've got this, and so it stacks up over weeks and months and all that sort of thing. Typically until you TR, until it starts bogging down the character, bogging down the instance, and that sort of thing. So it, quote, causes lag. I mean, it's not technically server latency, but it's perceived as lag, so hey, we'll call it lag here. We found one in freedom of movement and one with some bonus damage dice on weapons, so we were able to take care of that, so hopefully if you were impacted by that, you should see a dramatic improvement in your game performance. We also did fix a Deep Gnome Past Life to give Illusion DC rather than Enchantment DC. And like I said, we added the new monster manual. We also added a little thing behind the scenes to kind of help us get an idea of just how much impact mail storage is having on game performance. Well, once we actually know more about that, we can let you know more about that as well. But that's the primary thing that we had in today's patch. The game servers are now live. Yes, we did manage to get things up early, which was always nice to see. Let me get onto Oriening. We have room for one more person. Say hello to Mock Duck. Send a tell to Mock Duck on Oriening if you want to join me. Like I said, we'll be running the Update 31 stuff. Before we do that, though, let me open up the new monster manual so we can see what is in it. Dum, 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 dum. Monster Manual 7. I have access to this volume. It is, so let's see, I know there's Drow. Actually, a whole bunch of different things. Let me actually find a better one. Someone on the forums just found this the other day. Or just found this morning. That's probably a better list. But Drow is the big one. You know, I know people have been saying for a while that they want to get Drow into the game, and so we now have it for the monster manual. So that's pretty cool. Well, anyway, whatever. I will talk about that as I find it. Store has not come down yet. Yes, so there's one thing we need to do, which is that we've discovered an issue that some folks are not able to see the new monster manual in the DDO store. So what we're going to have to do is take the DDO store down briefly, basically do a little bit of work behind the scenes, and then bring the DDO store back up so that everyone who wants to can actually see and purchase the new monster manual. It is, of course, free to VIPs, so if you're VIP, should be a non-issue for you. This primarily is affecting a subset of people who have some monster manuals, but not Monster Manual 6. So that's something we're going to have to take the store down briefly. Probably it'll even happen during the live stream here, and then it'll come back up. Yeah, once we do a little upload of things. So, all right, let me go get a look at our chat room, see what we have going on here. I'd love to answer your questions if you'd like to talk to me. Just send me a tell in chat here. I'd ask a question if I can. I will. Werewolves and some others, Titan says. Driders. About darn time on the drow. Yeah. Can we please add invisible stalkers to air elementals? They are literally air elementals. Sounds like a plan idea. Yeah, we'll start with good intentions here. Spicy says, just curious, any plans on a, quote, full graphics overhaul? No. That would be a dramatic undertaking to basically redo all the art assets and character models and what have you throughout the game. I don't think we can expect that anytime soon. King Cosmo says there's been a, quote, audio bug rearing its head lately. Is Turbine aware of it? We have seen the reports on the forums. My understanding is we did look into that briefly, but we have more work that we're going to need to look into. It probably has something to do with the new data center and some kind of race condition. And by race condition I mean something that normally happened at a certain time is now happening too early or perhaps too late. We'll have to identify that and then figure that out. Yuan T, Werewolf, Drow, Bear, Drider, Dretch, Dragoloth, Glabrizu, Monstrous Plant, and Purple Worm. There we go. Alright. This is my old character from way back in the day, the DDO-cast Build Guild, if you ever remember that one. He was an assassin, and I moved him over to Thief Acrobat because, I don't know, because it would be fun. So I can do this. That's why. We'll do hard. What's the special pet?
Oh, there you are. Meet me outside across the canal.
I have to find out.
I have something to show you.
With that, Orban's image vanishes. Orban uses magically animated hammers to help craft the wares in his shop.
Behold the animatic!
Cries the gnome.
My enchanted golem will change life in Stormreach forever.
Alright, yeah, looks like I got a jackpot, yeah? I didn't actually really look what I was getting, because I was looking at chat at the time, but yeah, it does, doesn't it?
The animatic will now animate these perfectly ordinary things.
Orban's pleased expression quickly changes to one of shock.
Wait! Where's it going? Oh, come back here, come back. Oh! What's wrong
Oh,
with the crates?
I forgot. I don't have my, guess I need to fix my hotbar. Somehow my lowest hotbar got set to 2. No fun when that happens. So what did I do on vacation? Well, I went camping. Yep, I actually went into the real world. Like, adventured into the real world. Loot kind of sucked, but the experience was great. Then I also hung out with my son. I've got my son for the summer here, and we're having fun. So spent a little bit of time just to focus on spending time with him. So that was what I had going on during my break. It's nice to be back. I'm going to be moving Fridays at 5, by the way, to Friday at noon. I think I'm going to retitle the show Friday Afternoon. See, afternoon? Yeah, I know, I'm so clever, huh? But that's going to be happening because I'm going to have to pick him up at daycare. And that's how that works. For some reason, daycare doesn't take, hey, but I need to quest, as a valid excuse for not showing up. So, anyway, that's going to be happening this week. I noticed that we do have, if you haven't caught it during the break, we do have a new show, the Wookiee and Fathy show, that is on Thursdays, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, here on twitch.tv/DDO stream. All the archives are getting up on YouTube as well. That's youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons. I had a bit of a backlog to take care of when I got into the office for my break, so if I'm a little, if the newest show hasn't shown up yet, that's really what that's about. I also noticed there's a little bit of an issue with the new encoder from Twitch to YouTube, where it's not carrying over the titles, so they're all saying unknown unless I go into there and manually edit them, so I guess that's a thing. So update 31, patch 2, out today. We are hard at work in update 32. While I was gone, Sev had our producer's letter get released. That was pretty nifty. We announced Assault on the Slave Lords. Update 32, next classic pack. Coming soon? Coming along the same time, usual time frame of our update, so a couple months from now. Within a couple months, something like that. That should be cool. We're not doing A4, by the way. It's A1, A2, and A3. And those will be on Lemania for previewing that eventually. Update 32 is also going to have Caneth crafting. And I know that Sev in particular is taking a little bit of time to work on, I think today actually, he was talking about working on Monk Henshin Mystic. Unsure on what the time frame is going to be as to when exactly that stuff gets to your neck of the woods, the live game servers. It'll be when it's done, right? So, but the goal is to get it out as soon as we can when it's ready. I can't guarantee it'll be in time for update 32, but I think that's the goal, you know, assuming we can make it happen. Some other neat stuff in the producer's letter. I know it actually just was not too long before the producer's letter had mentioned that we had no plans to redo the Mimic Hunt, and then in Sev's producer's letter he says, hey, we have plans to redo the Mimic Hunt. So, okay. Sorry about that. It was news to me. That'll be cool, though. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with the new sort of table and all that sort of thing on that. So I hope you enjoyed the producer's letter. It's always neat. I know this one took a particularly long time. Reason for all that secrecy, by the way, was we had to wait until we were able to actually tell you that we were doing Against the Slave Lords. You know, announcing these classic packs is not something we can just sort of say, yeah, we're going to do it. We had to make sure everyone was signed off on it and approved and all that sort of thing. So that's what took the extra time here. We never actually got the key, did we? Oh, no, we did. We're okay. Might as well hit the tavern next. So yes, that's why it took so long. Because we were like, needed to wait for approvals. All the sign-offs and everything. On Against the Slave Lords. One of the first D&D modules I ever played as a youngin'. How about you? You guys played that module series? By the way, we are thinking about some kind of promotional thing on the live stream here. I don't think we're going to do all of A1, A2, A3, because that would just be a huge undertaking in terms of a live stream. I mean, that'd be, what, like 100 hours at least.
You've obtained a beholder's eye, one of the ingredients.
But we're going to do something.
To make the wand.
So I think what we're going to do is try to get a group of folks together and actually run, maybe just kind of do a couple encounters from the original module, that sort of thing, and live stream us playing Dungeons and Dragons, because we've been wanting to do that for a long time, and I've just never really been able to find the exact right time and ability to get all that stuff done, but we really want to do it for this one, so I think we're going to make it happen. And that should be cool. No ETA to announce on that. That's something that, you know, is still just in the works. I was talking with Quartermaster U over on the Lotro side about maybe providing some production assistance in that too, because it is going to take a little bit, of production work to make that happen. It's not something I can totally just do on my desk. Where am I going? Here we go. So I got turned around for a second. Oh, never mind. I am totally turned around. I am still turned around. Where am I going? Yes, even I can be totally map lost. All the time. No big surprise there, huh?
Can't help, only done this once.
Yep, sorry, I'm just being map lost. Go for the world record, Jerry. Nice. Now, but I want to do so. I mean, I know there's a lot of great kind of pen and paper live streams out there, and so, but sometimes they tend to be kind of long, right? I mean, it'll be like 6 hours of people sitting at a table on that, and I don't know that that really fits with sort of the promotional purposes that we want to go for here. So I think what we're going to try to do is maybe either break it up into a couple hour-long segments, or perhaps I don't know. We'll figure it out as we sort of figure it out here, but. But that'll be something to look forward to this summer. Should be a lot of fun. Alright, let me head back to the chat, see what we got here. So nice roll on the silver side, got a jackpot. Yeah, I got to look at that. It is a permissions issue ultimately with the DDO store on the new Monster Manual. That's something we're going to work on. As a matter of fact, I did slay some s'mores. I myself don't actually eat s'mores exactly because I'm a vegetarian and marshmallows have gelatin in them. But my son enjoyed a s'more, and I enjoyed the chocolate and graham crackers. So that was a thing. Yep. See, Friday at noon, yeah, you're right, it doesn't have the same ring. That's why I thought Friday afternoon. There you go. And by the way, hello, Moosey Pants. Nice to see you here. Tieflings, right? Tieflings, yep. That's something we're going to be working on. There's some conversations about how we're going to potentially do various things. That what needs done. Loving the fighter, by the way. Thanks, Titan. Good to hear. Do we have someone in Epic? An Epic level person in here?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
The animatic clatters to the ground. Orban's dream of renovating
You're doing new quests on Epic
stores
level.
nothing more than a pile of
Oh, got my Ring of Prowess.
Still,
That.
it would be nice to be
Oh, I got a Mythic Ring of Prowess. Nice. I got a Mythic Ring. That might be the first Mythic I've pulled on the live stream. That was on hard for all you folks keeping track. Look at that. Mythic Ring Boost +3. I'll take it. Heck yeah. Doing the loot dance. Doing the loot dance. Now what am I gonna... Feather Falling... Con... Well, certainly either of those would be good, but that'll work. Heck yeah. Dude. Erlock says, is it going to be 3 to 4 quests or just one giant one? I think we're going to split it up into subsections. So it'll be more individual quests, which, you know, that way, a little more conducive to running it. So. Where's my half giant? Wasn't that sort of like a... Just TR a bunch as a human. Pretty close. Any news on the mithril body fix in a near future patch? Have to give me a little more info, Mistwalker. I'm not sure what the mithril body fix is. That doesn't mean we don't know about it. That just means that I'm not sure what you're talking about personally. Amassing essences in anticipation for the crafting pass. Okay. Wayloon weapon and rewards are coming out very powerful. Awesome. LARP it. You're right, Erlock. A lot of gelatin is actually not from beef anymore. It's from seaweed, but there's no way to really know. So I tend to avoid it. Plus, to be honest, I was never a big marshmallow guy to begin with. So, there's that. But any update to Caneth crafting? Dakiel says. Not in particular. It's something that's being actively worked on in development. We are still keeping an eye on that thread. So that thread's the best place to get the latest information as to what we have going on with Caneth crafting. We're doing elite since we have an epic level in here. Psycho Magi is saying we need to take a look at lower level hireling healers who are not healing at the threshold they should be at. Typically, once you get beyond 50% hit points, they should, in general, say, time to heal ya. And they're potentially not doing that. I'll have to take a look at that. I am not personally aware of that issue, nor what might have caused it, but that's something we can look into, Psycho Magi. When are we going to get unbound named items again? Probably not for a while. I don't know of any plans to do that. I don't know. Gosh, this character is in such gimped state. I need gear. I'm still doing old gear from back in the DDoCast Build Guild. 1000 XP. Wow, 2000 XP. Plus 1 tome. Strength tome. Alright. I read slower with contacts. That's probably right. Yep. But no, I don't know of any plans to do unbound named items. Yeah, see, the seaweed stuff is called agar or agar, not gelatin. But it is true that I think it is true that not all gelatin necessarily has meat in it. It just usually does. But either way, we don't need to talk about that here. I don't eat marshmallows. That's the long and short of it. Important info for the world. Mithril body currently not working as intended with light armor, especially with the Ranger Tempest tree. Alright. We'll have to take a look, see what we know and don't know about that. I mean, it sounds familiar to me, so I'm sure we know something. I'm just not personally. Did you guys already talk to the dwarf? Oh, return the letter.
No, not me.
Yeah, this one you can do pretty quick once you get it worked out. Kinda nice.
No.
Alright, we're good to go into the tavern.
Local watering hole. You'll never find a more delightful establishment of scholars and heroism.
Will the classic quest pack, will it be like Temple of Elemental Evil? I think it'll be a little different from Temple of Elemental Evil. Temple is a very large space with kind of a mix between a quest and a wilderness area in some ways, whereas this is a little bit more a series of individual adventures. At least at this point. Wood.
Here, amongst the bodies. I think she forgot to mention that the elf has another.
I'm not sure. Spicy says, why did we not do an epic mail or legendary? I guess it would have been Maelstrom with legendary Tempest Spine. I'm not sure. Don't know the answer to that one. Sorry. When is Monk Pass? I think that probably what we'll see is a couple of updates with Monk work on them, rather than, say, a complete, like we announced, geez, was it last year already? That rather than doing sort of an entire class pass in one go, we're going to do more incremental changes over time. And I think that that's what we're going to see with the Monk. But it'll be in the release notes and such when we have more to pass along there. No, Urlock, you're thinking of Hound of Zoriat. Legendary Tempest Spine was a fairly large amount of work, as I recall.
Well, fit for a minor figure in the Shard Syndicate, at least. Oh, I apologize for the smell, but I do want this story to be authentic.
Alright. So what beasties are in the new monster manual? Sad face is not on the wiki yet. Actually, pretty sure that either Shoemaker or Og is going to take care of that this afternoon. But it was in chat earlier. Let me find that list again. Yuan Ti, Werewolf, Drow, Bear, Drider, Dretch, Dragoloth, Glabrezu, Monstrous Plant, and a Purple Worm. No. Fine, I'll swap the artifacts. So it should be a pretty interesting summer. We're really looking forward to bringing this classic pack to you. It should be cool. For those who, Sev did address this in the letter as well, but just to repeat here, that does mean a shift in our plans for the next classic pack. Because originally, I guess earlier this year was January, we had hinted about kind of a Halloween-themed classic adventure, and that's been changed. Unless you find slave lords scary. So I was talking, I know Sev was talking just yesterday, day before, that, we're going to be working on some monk enhancements. Hand wraps are, as always, just a massive undertaking to correct. So that may come afterwards, before, during? I don't know, we'll have to see. Like I said, it's not going to be a one and done. It's something we're going to probably be working on for a little while, I would imagine. Or not. I guess we'll see.
Leaky waffle?
Yeah, right?
No more tricks. I promise.
Man, by the way, during my break, it's kind of a side rant, I guess. Not rant, but, so I was watching a movie just the other day that had Lucy Lawless's stunt double in it. She's quite the action hero in her own right. Quite the stunt lady. It was really cool.
And for that, a reward is due.
A purple worm creature companion. That's funny. Just for fun, why don't we, since I don't really feel like crossing over onto the Forgotten Realms side at the moment, why don't we just quick sell repair and then do the heroic versions of those Hall of Heroes quests that we did for, the Archon one. Any new monsters coming? Yeah, I think so. Or at least I know of at least one variation of a existing monster that's in the works.
Anyone need a ship invite?
No, that's alright. I do need to clear out my inventory, but I don't need to do it now. Man, I'm really glad I got that Ring of Prowess. That's sweet. Why, yes, Titan, I did hear about the Emperor Hulk. So what have you guys been up to? You got anything cool that you've done in recent weeks, DDO-wise? I think, most folks can have probably been reaping some benefits of our recent lag improvement work. I know. Seems to be pretty good. There's always more work to do, of course, but yes, I did get a Mythic Ring of Prowess. On top of that, I got it on hard. So man, that must, between that and my daily dice, loot gods are smiling on me today. Any news on the old Halloween dragon and what's going to happen with it? Nothing to announce at this time. As Sev did mention in the producer's letter, those are some things that, going to kind of look to see what we might be able to do with it in the future. But nothing really to announce, sorry. I mean, I think I can safely say that we are not going to do Maybar as it previously stood. It's not to say it won't be coming back in some format, but the event format that it exists is probably unlikely to return. Night Rebels fills that niche in terms of the Wilderness area and Delaras and all that. But, I think people can sort of read between the lines and say, well, what could we do with that dragon space to maybe make it, bring it back? And the answer, of course, is playable Spectral Dragon class. Race. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. We won't be doing that.
A magical barrier envelops the tiefling, protecting him while he works to destroy the portable hole's enchantments. The freed mage
Would be rad, though.
attempts to dispel the magic protecting the
Turn into a human like
rescue more
Vela. Next thing you know, you're just like,
combined efforts will bring the barrier down.
be great for a PvP bit. So, yeah, as a general rule, events are not meant to provide bonuses to monster manuals. The events are not typically supposed to count in the monster manual because they're limited duration things that, depending on when you play the game, you may or may not be able to participate in. Now, I know we haven't always been 100% consistent with that, but that is the general guidance that you should have. I don't know about the +5 tomes. That's some feedback we can take a look at, You ride a dragon playable race would have to have a tail. Nice one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Crystal Cove is still on the agenda. I'll have to check into that when I'm off the air here, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. How come new content coming out is not built to scale for any level character to play through, like challenges, Crystal Cove, and whatnot? It's a particularly it's really just a matter of a time thing, is really what it is. Making a quest work in that way to sort of use the challenge tech is really a completely different system of building a dungeon in terms of monster statting and such like that. So I don't think that you can't just sort of like say flip a switch and there you go. Also, the challenge tech typically utilizes some form of ingredients as a reward, and so that would need to be dealt with. Because how would you get an end reward? You know, right now there are no end reward tables. That's what I think, right?
Combined
No end reward
power
tables
of
on challenges.
wizards shatters the tiefling's magical barrier. Forces comes
Can't think of one.
snarl on his wrist.
Pretty sure that's right. If we're gonna fight, we should find a doorway here, otherwise we're gonna be toasted. Do you think you can make it up to that shrine? Yeah, I'm not sure, Titan. I need to look into why Fortis became unresponsive in an early Lamania version of Legendary Shroud. I don't remember at this point. Why do you want to know?
You stop Fortress from destroying the portable holes. The storm witches are
Will there be additional repurposed dungeons added for the next Night Revels event? It's a good question. I think the answer is we'd like to. Pretty sure that's the answer. Here it is.
You've found all the pages of the wizard's manuscript. It looks like it's just as deadly dull as he made it sound.
Yeah, I mean, I think there would certainly be an argument to be made that it would be awesome to just sort of apply the scaling tech to every single dungeon in the game, but that's, like I say, they're kind of built through different systems in some ways. So I'm not sure that that would be a real practical thing for us to do. Head into the harbor. Hey, Rich Ricos, meet Jerry Tricos. Wow. It's like your own little... I heard there were new quests when the gnome came out. Where can I find them? Two of them are in the harbor. One of them is located near the missing quest, which is near the Saltire district in the harbor, sort of by where Invaders is, if you know where that is. The other one is by the entrance to the 12. And then the third quest for Update 31 can be found in Evening Star, located next to the tavern there. Lonely Tankard, is that the name of the tavern? Basically, on one end here is the NPC for Haunted Halls. Other end is going to be the NPC for the new quest. Spicy says, hey, I messaged you about a thing. What are the odds it's going to happen? It's really hard to answer that question. I mean, to put it short, the number of suggestions and great ideas that come in to the dev team on a regular basis is, by order of magnitude, many times higher than we could ever possibly bring to the game. So, I guess in terms of what are the odds would be like if we were working on something and we, it aligned and we were looking for community feedback on it and we provided that feedback and it was incorporated, we do some of that. But typically, I mean, the number of wouldn't it be awesome to have just raised by the dev team alone is infinitely larger than we can realistically provide, or actually do. So, odds maybe not great. But it's a cool idea, though. But that's not to say it won't happen. I mean, if you think about a lot of the Q&A we do, like even during this live stream here, a lot of what we get are not, I guess, really not questions per se, so much as they are suggestions for future features or feature requests. I guess to the extent that that's a question, it counts, right? But they're often, like I say, not really questions so much as suggestions, or when can we, when is X going to come out, when is Y going to come out, when are we going to do Z, which is a question, of course, but it still typically is like, I want this thing to be in game. And we do several dozen questions usually in this hour alone. So, I don't know.
The bear nods and says the door slides open, revealing a fierce half-orc woman standing between you and the small animals that appear to live in this room. She growls slightly as you approach.
I got Omni-Spell dust. Man, I've been getting weird stuff in my chests and loot tables today. This guy is on a lucky streak. How cool. Titan has a question. It seems like one cut may be canceling out deadly weapons, and by that do you mean it debuffs you so that deadly weapons doesn't reappear, or only that you're not getting the deadly weapons bonus when you let's see, we should range these boxes and then, oh, there we go. Woohoo!
enter the alleyway, you spot cultists guarding the gatekeeper's glade.
One cut, but what do you mean by canceling it out? Do you mean as if it disappears from your buff bar, or just that it's not providing the bonus? Yeah, Cleavebeard, glad that you also have those modules hanging around. It's always really exciting to look through the old first, perhaps second edition versions of these modules and sort of think about bringing them to DDO. It's such an exciting thing to be able to do. As someone who just watches other people do it. I'm sure there are some that just look, oh my god, it's gonna be so much work.
Wolf snarls at his prisoner. As you enter the gatekeeper's stronghold, you spy a second gatekeeper portal in the corridor ahead. As splinters of the shattered door drift down around you, the dire bear nods at the corridor ahead.
So probably what's happening is One Cut and Deadly share the same benefit channel. So since you can only have one benefit there, it's not stacking. So what it should probably do is do One Cut and then reapply perhaps the Deadly Weapon buff. But I don't know what would be involved in making that happen. It sounds like something that isn't supported by the current system. Oh yeah, someone's saying, I'd like to see Undermountain, I want to see Ravenloft. Trust me, the number of, yes, let's do this one, and then this one, and then this one. Yeah, I want to see Pharaoh. I want to see the Desert of Desolation. That's my vote for the wouldn't it be awesome ifs. I was always a big fan of that series. I know Major Malfunction has often said he wants Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, which I always really enjoyed as well. I also really liked the, in terms of the classics, I always really enjoyed the sort of Lewis Carroll takes Adventureland and Land Beyond the Magic Mirror. Those are always fun too, although I don't know that they make sense for DDO. But... Oh no, I have died. Never happens. So I think, people have often said that they want... Ooh, someone got the quiver. Not me, but the Paladin did. Nice. Actually, I see two quivers.
going to knockout. So, I guess
Congrats.
it's not. I guess it's going to Sinclair.
All right, sweet. I just have a Thingiver. Dynamistic will be way better. Thank you. All right, I think that's going to have to wrap it up for the live stream here. Really do appreciate you guys joining me. I will get you a turbine point code a little bit later on this afternoon. You can see that through the in-game mail. I do want to mention one thing as well, that historically for these turbine point giveaways, I've directed people to go to myaccount.turbine.com and fill them in there, because that was the method for quite a while here. That method has changed. You now redeem those keys in the DDO store itself, which I think may not be open. Yeah, so you'll redeem code, and then you'll enter the code in here, just like you would a coupon code or any other kind of thing like that. So that's how you're going to redeem these keys. So, all right, let's see if I have any final questions. Sorry, Titan, not going to talk about other IPs. Yeah, see, the Hickman Desert Series, that's what I'm talking about. Desert of Desolation. It's like Pharaoh and Lost Tomb of Martek and the other one that I can't think of right now. Yeah. Okay, I was going to say about Tomb of Horrors. The big question with Tomb of Horrors is Tomb of Horrors was never meant to be beaten. It was created as basically a meat grinder for parties. So if there was ever a version of Tomb of Horrors that came out that people actually sort of beat regularly, would it really be Tomb of Horrors? I don't know. I'd be curious to see what you think about that. So, will the old codes work in the in-game store now? Yes, fairly they should. If they don't, let me know. Alright, and that's going to do it with Weekly Wednesday Lunchtime Livestream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream and youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live. Thank you very much for joining me today. 4 o'clock today, DDO as she is played. Titan, it streams sometimes at 9 p.m. here on Wednesdays. We have our brand new show, the Wookiee and Fathy Show. That's Thursday at 5 p.m. Thursday at 8:30 is Brighter Days Ahead Tonight. And you can find our complete schedule over on the Twitch page. Thanks very much for joining me. See you again soon.